Hello, people. How are you all doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. So, today we are going to be talking about something somebody asked me. But first, I'm going to talk about this in the first part of this video. Then, the second part is going to be how you can study in Poland in 2025. Okay, now I want to say something. To those people who are watching this video, if you are watching this video and you are watching from Central Africa or West Africa, understand that appointment issues might be a little problem. But I still know people who are moving to Poland. Some people say they are, I cannot say it here. I don't know how true that is, but people are still moving to Poland. So if you want to do application to Poland, start now. I'm going to be bringing a list of universities that are actually open and accepting applications now. And then I will also be talking about documents for visa, everything that you need to know. And those from North Africa, East Africa, you stand a chance because I don't think you have appointment issues for Poland. But before we begin, a lady asked me yesterday, 3 million, is it okay? This is the question. 3 million, is it okay? Then she came down and said, hello, Milton. I have 3 million francs CFA. I saw your post, but it looks like my money is quite small. Please, which country can I go with 3 million CFA francs? I told her that it's going to be very difficult. Now, my answer is in two parts. Why did I say so? Because according to the question, she is the one to sponsor herself. And if you are the one to sponsor yourself, and all you have is 3 million CFA francs, trust me, it's not gonna be enough, because when you apply for a school, they will ask you to pay 1 semester tuition, or they will ask you to pay maybe 2 semesters tuition, which is 1 year tuition. And then remember, now if a school charge you 2,000 euros or maybe 2,005, now how much will be left in that 3 million CFA francs? The money is almost finished. Now how are you going to get proof of funds to do your visa application? Because you cannot be showing the embassy that you do not have enough money to study. It's a red flag, right? So this is what you need to know. To study abroad is a lot of money. So I actually told her, raise the money to 4 million or 4.5, because she told me she is the one sponsoring herself. Then if you raise it to 4 million, 4.5, you can then move to a country like maybe Italy, and then maybe try Hungary or Romania. Okay, why not even Bulgaria? So these are the things I told her. Now, in the case where you have this money and you still have somebody to be a sponsor, let's say this is the money you have in your account, 3 million, and then you still have somebody who is going to give you a bank statement or sponsorship letters, all those documents you need for visa application, then the money is going to be enough, because all you need to do is to find a university that is quite affordable. Then when you get admissions, you do the payment of the first deposit. Then the person who is to sponsor you now can give you all the documents. Now guys, I would like to say that this is the answer I gave the young lady. And then if you are watching this video, please share the video. In case you have a question, please drop it in the comment section. I would like to say that this year is gonna be very competitive compared to last year, because the influx this year in Europe is going to be very high. So many people want to move. Now, how do I know this? I always keep statistics of how people relate with me. The only thing that can save you this year is showing the right documents and putting the right documents in your application, from applying to schools to visa. Now let's go. Remember I told you before that Poland is open. It's going to favor you, those of you in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Kenya. Yeah, so please apply for schools in Poland. I'm going to drop a school in the video description box. Click that link, then you check if you have a program. If you do, apply as fast as possible. Now if you want to study in Poland, these are the documents you need to actually apply. If you are going for bachelor's degree, you need your high school documents. You also need a document from your ministry or from your education board to confirm that you are actually qualified to study in Poland. I think, what's the name of that document again? But for Cameroon, it's called confirmation of results from the ordinary levels and advanced level board, which is the GCE board, right? Because that's the organization that organizes results or maybe exams in Cameroon. And for other nationals, like maybe people from Nigeria, Ghana, you can go to your exam board, then get a document from them to prove that you're actually qualified to go and study a bachelor's degree, maybe in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. You know the document. I'm forgetting the name. So get this document in addition to your WAEC, your passport, okay, maybe an English proficiency document from your university or IELTS or TOEFL or any other one which is being asked by the university abroad in Poland. then you are good to apply for your bachelor's degree program. It now depends on the university you want to go into. Do you want to apply to Warsaw University? Doesn't matter which one you want to go to. Just know that you need these documents. Then for masters, you need your bachelor's degree certificate in addition to this and the other ones, and you might be asked to submit recommendation letters in some universities and maybe a motivation letter. Then you are good to go. So these are the documents you need. Now remember, you must make good use of your Google search. I always bring videos here to guide you, and if you follow the information I give you, do your own due diligence, maybe you're 10%, you will definitely be in Europe next year. Do not apply just to Poland. Apply to other schools. Hungary is also open. Romania is also open. I'm not talking about the most expensive ones like Ireland and the Netherlands, because for now Sweden, Finland, it's almost closed. Though there are still some few schools in Finland that you can apply to, but as of now, I can't really say Finland is a good option because the joint application closed long time ago. And to those of you applying to vocational schools and relying on it, please extend your tentacles, okay? Open your chances and look at other universities. Now, also understand that when you apply to these schools, you also need English proficiency. Like I said before, they might ask you for IELTS, or they might say, okay, I mean the university in Poland. They might say, if you studied in English, okay, show us evidence. Then you now go to your school and collect English proficiency. For those applying from Cameroon with O and A levels, go to the GCA board and take English proficiency from them. And those who are coming from other universities like Boya, collect English proficiency from UB. Then if they insist, because some will insist and even ask for Duolingo or IELTS, give them the document. You've gotten your admissions, you will be asked to pay a tuition deposit, probably 1 semester or 2 semesters. Then in this case now, after paying, you will get your unconditional document. And now when you get the offer, you will be asked to pay tuition deposit to get unconditional, because the first one you got was conditional. Now after paying the deposit, you will now get unconditional, which is a pass to apply for visa. With that unconditional, other documents like which I'm going to give to you now, you can then put in for visa application. Remember I said to get a visa this year, you need to do a lot of work. You need to arrange your documents and be wise and smart. Now arrange documents, give them the documents they need, okay? For Poland, many people were like, oh, Milton, can someone sponsor me? Well, if you check on their website, you are going to see that they are only saying that family members can sponsor you. But you can risk it, and not like you can risk it. If you do not have a family member to sponsor you and you have somebody who can actually sponsor you, go for it. But the best thing you should do is make sure you put in the right application, like the right documents should be in place. Document number 1 that you need for your visa application is your international passport. Of course, I always say that if you are going for a 3 years program, make sure your passport is still valid for 3 years. So please, this is a strategy so that when you are in Poland, you shouldn't be running up and down spending euros to do a new passport, which you might not even have it. Okay, you have to be smart and wise. You need also what we call a statement of purpose. That's the first document. The reason why I put it first is because with this document, you need to explain a lot. You need to tell them why you choose that university, why the country, okay, who is sponsoring you, how much funds you've gathered for this. And again, talk about all those things and why you actually choose the program and what the program is going to help you get when you get back to your home country. Remember, you have to convince them to believe that when you finish a program, you are going to return back to your home country in Nigeria, right? I'm just using Nigeria as an example. Never make the visa officer believe that when you finish, you are going to find a job. Of course, they do know this, but you need to tell them beyond reasonable doubt. Now, that takes me to another document, which is called affidavit of sponsorship. This affidavit of sponsorship is a document that you have to collect from your sponsor, okay? That document has to be signed, of course, it has to be signed. And again, you also need accommodation. Always speak to your university. I'm just touching this like I'm shallow here because I have to still explain further when I'm bringing some of these universities. Like I said, one university is below. So please put all of this into consideration. After the affidavit, you also need a sponsorship letter from your sponsor, and this sponsorship letter has to be notarized. You also need an affidavit of sponsorship from the person who is sponsoring you. These documents are not the same. One is coming, it has to be notarized by a public notary. The other one has to come from the High Court. It has to be notarized by the High Court. Okay, so you need to ask in your home country. I don't know, some countries do not have High Court, right? Some have Court of First Instance. So make sure you verify which one is okay for you to do the documents. It's very important. You need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you need a visa to go to Poland. Well, in the Netherlands, all this stress, you will not go through it, because after you pay the money to the school, it is the school to apply for your visa. You don't even need anything again. You just, hey, Milton, your visa has been approved. Collect your passport, collect the approval letter, collect visa form, book appointment, go to the embassy. This is how it is, and get your visa stamp. This is how it works for the Netherlands. But for others, you have to gather this, gather that, look for this, which is totally understandable. Not everybody can afford the Netherlands. So go to where you can afford and make sure you pay attention to details, look for the right documents, and then you give it to them. Then also you need what we call affidavit of relationship, in case you are not being sponsored by maybe a family member. Even if you are sponsored by the family member, also show relationship. And while you are showing this affidavit of relationship, it also needs to come from the High Court. Also show them, if let's say if you are related to the person, bring relationship documents, which is usually the birth certificate, right? Yeah. If you guys are not related, just show evidence that somehow you guys are related. Maybe it's your friend, but at this stage you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt, because some embassies will not even accept this. And I think with Poland, you basically need to prove a lot, otherwise your visa will be rejected. And all these things I'm explaining, most people do not know about this. Okay, so stand out if you really want to get a visa. Then you also need you need two affidavits. One will be affidavit of sponsorship, then the other one will be sponsorship letter. Then you also have affidavit of relationship, right? Then you also need return flight ticket. That's flight ticket, aller and retour. Aller and retour here is to and fro. You have to reserve it. Don't pay because your visa is not approved yet. Now, I've talked about this in several videos. You also need what we call insurance. And with your insurance, remember, it's always just good to pay for the duration of your program. Of course, I know it's not going to be useful in there, but it's going to help you get your visa approved, like your study visa approved. So get an insurance. For companies to buy the insurance, I believe you know, right? If you do not know, indicate below. Then also you need what we call passport size photograph. I've talked about it. The next important document you are going to bring to the table, document your school is going to give to you, I think it begins with ZW. They are going to add that document to your acceptance letter. So you need that document, you need your acceptance letter, you need your medical certificate from a state recognized hospital, your documents legalized from the Ministry of Education to Foreign Affairs. Okay, Cameroonians, you do the same thing. Those going for bachelor's degree, you go to the GCA board and collect confirmation of results. Tell the GCA board to address it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You go to the governor's office in Bonanjo, Douala, or you go to Yaoundé. Then also you get eligibility letter from the ministry. Okay, for Nigerians, you have to get it from the Ministry of Education. Cameroonians, ask the ministry, because I don't know where that document is coming from for Cameroonians, or where you can get it from. Then for Nigerians, you need your NIN. Of course, you know what NIN is. Then you also need your birth certificate as an applicant. You also need your transcript of records. You also need your testimonial. You need your YX certificate. And of course, I talked about flight insurance before. Now, flight and insurance should have the same date as the date you are putting on your application form. Very important. Do not forget that, guys. We meet in another one. Check the video description box for a university that is open. Bye-bye, and see you again in another one. I'm going to bring more videos here, but please do not forget everything I say here. The goal is that you should move to Poland. I hope to see you in Europe. We meet again.